I'll start with the results, right? So as a result of this, we have hundreds of billions more tokens back in hand. We have planned to, on Friday of this week, burn 100 billion tokens. So your overall number in the new issuance is going to be improved by 10%. And that's your relative value increase. So we're excited about that. We've also accomplished a bunch of other things. We have, because of the new contract, the new technology, and the latest version that it's written in, means that we'll be viable on exchanges that we want to hit. We're okay for AWRT and for all the other ones that we already have planned. Of course, we have other functionality for the AWRT token that we want to be able to include. So airdrops and things like that. So we're really psyched about how everything turned out. And I know it was confusing. And there were a bunch of different ways that we could have done this. Everybody being as vigilant as they are, I think a couple people jumped the gun on us, so we had to jump on and tell everybody, kind of how things were working as we were doing the work. So appreciate the heads up and everything that everybody gives everybody in the membership and on Discord and all over. It's good to know that everybody's watching, so that's pretty cool. But we were forced to also answer a lot of questions while we were still wrapping up. So that's one of the things that's happening. We're improving the overall supply, and your overall value because of what's happening. So fundamentally, for everybody who had their tokens inside the exchange, it really doesn't even look like an effect for you, from a structural standpoint. But on the back end, when you see that the contract is verified, and you'll be able to, in the next couple of days, it could be anywhere from 1 to 3 days, you'll be able to see all of the reflection information, all the information for the charity wallet, and all of our Discord and all that data on Etherscan and so forth as well. So as we add all of that, as they accept it, it's all on there. It just has to reflect, I guess, or whatever it is that goes on in the back with Etherscan and so forth. Once all that stuff's on there, of course, that improves our transparency and our trust level and so forth. So and of course then we've got the tech rate piece and everything else that that'll apply there. So this is just a better a better approach, and we wanted to do it early, and we know that our loyal members are always game for increased value and increased technology opportunities. And so we figured while we're at this, we might as well do it right, and so that's why we did it this way.
This version verifies, right?
No, it is verified. Yeah, this contract's verified, so you can see that. But the other thing that it's going to do is all of your reflections and everything that we needed to do. This version was important for our own exchange technology as well. So there's old language out there. There's old versions out there, of some companies with that do reflections that keep them off exchanges because they haven't been upgraded and so forth. And we're at such a level now with with AWRT under 300 or so holders, that we could make that change right now, before we do the big push and the big marketing push and so forth. So we did it, and it's to your benefit, and we're going to have a lot of rewards for you guys for hanging in there and enduring this, and the people who were testing the the beta side of the original contract with us on Uniswap will all be receiving dollar for dollar what you invested. So we'll double down for you and make sure that that you'll be rewarded in other club assets and so forth as we move forward here. So we'll be taking care of that this week. And we'll also be adding some new utility for AWRT, which we'll explain here in a little bit. Am I missing anything, Bo? We did the update for the website, so you can see that. If you go to the AWRT website, you'll see the new contract address. And then, of course, I'm sure everybody has the big questions about what if my stuff was not in the AWC exchange? What if it was sitting in MetaMask or wherever? And all you have to do is go on, follow that link, verify your wallet, and or load up your wallet info on there, and then just hit submit, and then we'll verify that, and then your new essentially what happens is you'll take your old AWRT, which the liquidity pool is pulled on that anyway, and it doesn't exist on our exchange anymore, so it can't be confused on our own exchange. So the only thing to do with it is burn it. We'll give you the burn wallet address, and that's going to be the burn wallet that we use for everything that we do, I think, as well. So you'll see that that wallet address on that form. Once we tell you you're verified, send the tokens, the old tokens in, and when we get them, then they'll go into the batch, and you'll be airdropped the new ones I think it's going to be. It's a good question. No, I'll let you know if it's going to be directly to the wallet address that you filled out. Maybe the back office can answer that while we're on the call, and we can answer that. I know we kicked around dropping it in the exchange, but we may be just airdropping directly to the wallet that you put in that form. So we'll answer that in the next minute or so. Bo, keep an eye on a response for that. Okay. Any other questions that have come up? I'm sure there are.
Earlier. So, functionally, you just spoke to that. Hang on a second. In the last hour or so, we've gotten a decent amount of chatter. Chad.
See. Well, you dig through that. There's a couple other things. One, you'll notice in this contract that this new contract that we have liquidity pool of 1% instead of the burn. The reason that we did that is because burn is going out of fashion, on these new and improved contracts as we move forward. That was our advice from people at high levels inside other exchanges that we're looking at. So liquidity pool is kind of the new terminology for that anyway. So we eliminated that, and we turned the liquidity pool to 1%. And the reason that we did that, again, it's more in line with what everybody else is doing with the new play, coming out. So that's what we took there. We took professional advice on that front, and that's what we added. So so there are a couple little tweaks and changes to those automated functions of the contract, and that'll also appear. All that stuff will appear on Etherscan as well. So you should see it start to reflect here in the next day or two. I think it's 1 to 3 days. So hopefully we do one.
Chad's asking, how long are you anticipating verification to take, and if we have to pat gas fees to send the dead wallet, are they getting those back?
So.
No, I was just saying, I'll send my tokens, but they should come to my wallet. I shouldn't have to go on the exchange and put them back in my wallet again. I'm sending my tokens to a dead wallet. I'm paying gas fees. I mean, so you guys should pay it too.
I've read the question. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. and on the other front, again, we are also compensating the entire group for kind of the trouble, right? So like 100 billion token burn is pretty huge.
Okay,
That's
so
a 10%.
I just got confirmation on that. It's going to be airdropped to the third-party wallet they provide, and that we verify for the swap. So I just got confirmation.
Yeah, so make sure that so it'll go directly to the wallet, I guess, that you're filling into that form. So make sure you fill it in right. We verify it, and then it goes in the batch and then airdrops. That's what I thought was going to happen, but I wanted to make sure because I know we kind of have a strict policy of making all of our payments directly to the exchange wallets for affiliates and so forth, which just makes good logical sense. But for this, it's an extenuating circumstance. So, it'll go to your third party wallet. Now, on the compensation side, again, we do have this, 100 billion token burn, which is, I think everybody should be pretty psyched about. So.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. So, and then the other side of that is, we will be there. We've come up with another, we've come up with more AWRT compensation, through this process. So as we were building through here,
You want to take the baby?
I don't have a baby.
No, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank goodness we have a puppy, which it cries every morning at 6:30, which reminds me of when my 3 kids were babies. But yeah, and soon maybe that dog will be delivered to Bo's house up in the Hamptons or something if we get lucky. Anyway, so while we were building all this stuff out, and we haven't even gone through all this with the team, but there'll be a formal announcement about this here soon. I guess backing up to kind of the 50,000 foot level, AWRT has always been the utility token, kind of the club, the reward token, and the whole purpose of the games that we started with testing, the API on sports, for example, sports betting, and now we'll be testing in poker and testing in blackjack, peer to peer. Of course, everything's peer to peer. The whole point there is not those games. The whole point, we're not trying to have the best poker, or something. The whole point is the evolution, right? So being able to actually spend the AWRT in that game environment, and that's where we're headed. So as we move that API now, as we play with that, that tech, that our back office built, we're able to move it into games and things like the Amiga arcade and stuff that we're building out. And that's just one more step toward the metaverse spend and the NFT spends, right? Because AWRT is actually the utility token for the entire metaverse project. So, just like with apes, you get banana, right? With our metaverse build, you'll be getting and the new, members who join will be getting the AWRT as rewards for staking, for example, their NFT assets, whether that's a combination of land, vaults, cars, whatever it is, in the build. What you're going to earn in those staking is AWRT. So you're really at the infancy, the very first steps of this entire process. And I know it looks like, okay, well, and when new people come in, because there's so many different moving parts of this club, it's like, okay, we have it's the venture capital side, it's the affiliates earning side, it's crypto lifestyle, with VC. All that is the case, but our in-club project, our Mad Hatter Society project, is really metaverse related and NFT related. And so, the whole goal has always been, for AWRT to test out properly and be able to be used in those metaverse functions, right? So You're going to see a whole lot more development on the NFT side now that the exchange is functioning properly. Now that we can mint, properly on the exchange, and you guys will have the opportunity to sell those mints. So you'll have what'll happen is our our weighted members, right? So relative to the number of assets that you're holding, club assets, relative to your rank as a member, relative to your assets or your NFT rank, you'll be either first through 1,000, kind of in line for new mints. And the idea for the new mints is that there'll be such a opportunity or such a such a demand um, for the earning assets that you'll be able to resell them on a secondary market. So you'll be able to get in line, mint the best and most rare opportunities that you can then either sell or keep. Of course, you'll want to keep some, but like in other projects, like we're in, for example, Neo Tokyo, or we're in um, things like Wilder World or Sandbox or whatever. Um, in Neo Tokyo, in particular, you are able to get early drops to be able to mint, stuff that only the club insiders get. And what happens sometimes is, and what we've done is sometimes we'll mint two, and the idea would be we'll keep one, sell one, and the one pays for the other one that we bank, right? And that also earns for us, when we throw it in the vault or we combine it with different assets inside that metaverse, right? Inside that project. Well, we're creating the same opportunity for you with our metaverse build out, and AWRT is the power behind that. It's the utility payout token, or the earning token for these NFTs that'll be created, right? And that'll also involve the different movie functions and the different things that we're promoting. So, we have the performance, for example, where we're the credited NFT producer for that entire movie, exclusively. These things will pair into our metaverse and pair into our builds, right? So, and it'll also be an asset for you to hold and stake and so forth. So
The same
all
thing
this
with
stuff.
the Amiga games and things too. And really, yeah, KG, you hit the nail right in the head. That essentially what's happening is club members are becoming the whitelist
That's exactly right.
for the he's coming out.
Now, it's good that you said that, because that is exactly what's happening. So, and that's the exact terminology. So this is how AWRT is going to work. And we have the major reward for what everybody has done over the last couple of weeks, kind of going through this swap and all the stuff that we're doing in beta. We're going to have a weighted ranked, founders NFT. So that ranked NFT, you'll get. We're going to have it be, I think it's 1 through 250, that will consider um, founders level NFTs for the metaverse, right? For Mad Hatter Society's metaverse, and these things are already created. They're going to be able to be minted based on your essentially your weighted score. So the number of AWRT that you hold will be where you rank as far as the NFT you're allowed to mint, right? So if you hold, if you are the largest non-dev holder, for example, of AWRT, then you will get number one. It's 001 is how it's laid out. And if you are the second, then you get 002 all the way down to 250. And that particular founders NFT will weight your lineup in the white list for new drops. So you'll be able to pair that with different assets to be able to get in line. So the different things that you have staked, the different stuff that you own and you vault and you stake, will determine where you fall on the white list for new assets that you can then mint and sell. And the idea is you want to be able to get these new assets early so that, again, you can take advantage of minting, 2 or 3 or whatever that ranking, facilitates for you, so that one, you can vault for yourself or stake, and the others you could sell to third parties who want to participate in the metaverse project, which of course, is an exciting project, and we'll talk more about that in the days to come. But that's the whole point, right? So that's the end. That's kind of that's that's where all the game testing is going. It's not that we want to be a casino company, of course. Yeah, I think you guys all know that from talking to us from the very beginning and being part of the project. Everybody who's been here from the beginning knows that there's certainly something bigger than playing a little bit of poker going on, and there's even something bigger than the 100 Amiga games we licensed, right? So this is a much grander plan, and it's a huge opportunity for you all to be in that beginning stage, that first 250 stage of that metaverse founders level club, and that founders level NFT would be able to then be resold in the open market as well. So say you say, well, I'm leaving the club, or I'm done with metaverse for now, or for whatever reason, you want to give up your spot in line, you'll be able to do that. And of course, that weight of that initial NFT will always go with that asset. So we're excited to be able to offer you that, and it's a cool ranking. And of course, you'll know through the badge and through the number who each one of you are, and it's just a really cool asset and a really cool way to do it, I think. Um, Other projects use rarity scores for different characters that you can buy and trade, and you can increase the rarity. But this is we consider this to be kind of the founders level. So, this is where I think this is where we'll throw down. Now, this is just on the metaverse side. Of course, there's people who are weighted on AWB, and those guys are interested in VC and the dividends and so forth that we're participating in, and the new token launches and all that kind of fun reward side of the world, that's based on real world business, and that's cool too. And you'll get benefits as well, and you'll get in line for waitlist or for whitelist drops, too. So that's not, of course, we have the ultimate NFTs, which carry tremendous weight, which are the Genesis NFTs, and those are the people who are currently staking a high risk, high reward blocks. So all that stuff goes into where you fall on the on the whitelist, and your reserving of different assets before they drop and so forth. So we're excited about that.
When will people know if they're on the list or not? And is the ranking going to be published, or is it? I mean, I guess it's going to have to be, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
For
So
sure.
when are you anticipating that?
So what'll happen next is that these are the steps. So the next step is everybody's putting in their information to get the airdrop, of the new AWRT. All this information, of course, we have, and and so we will reach out with the I guess you'd call it the tentative position and list, and we'll make sure that we get that right. And it's not just based on what you own today. It'll be based on what you own by the time we do the burn. Basically consider it like a swap and burn party on Friday night. So between now and Friday, you can increase your amount of AWRT if that's the side you want to be on, and try to increase your ranking if you want to. And also at that same time, on our Friday AMA, we'll all be psyched because we'll also burn 100 billion of these tokens. So should be a good week. And the other side of that is, it's I think it's just a really cool badge to have. It's like, okay, well, I'm club member 25, or I'm club member 100. By the time we're done, being anywhere in the top 250 is going to be a massive asset. So, and that's how we're going to build it out.
All right, and then I got the question a couple times on verification, and now I'm just figuring out that people are talking about when will they know that they have the tokens, and I'm seeing here it looks like it'll be done by the latest 11:59 tonight. If it was in your AWC wallet, is that correct?
I think it'll be done tonight if you get it in by 11:59. So if you put your information in and send it in for verification, then it'll be verified tonight and it'll go out. If not, it'll be, if you miss the 11:59, no worries. It'll go out tomorrow. But yeah. So
but if you want it today, it'll be in by the end of today.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want it overnight and you want to see the new tokens in your account overnight, and that's how you have to do it.
All right.
And I know there's some people who are just, I mean, because again, the club's always been about, bridging the old investment community, from the Pubco days all the way to the new bleeding edge of DeFi. In a club where people can be safe and kind of experiment and stuff. So I don't want you to feel stressed if people are on this call and they just don't understand what the hell we're talking about. Hit us up on concierge@activeworldclub.com or .net, and or Bo, and we will we'll walk you through this process if you need that. So it's not something to worry about.
All right. So will the ranking be by wallet or person? Some people, I guess, have multiple wallets, or I know I saw something earlier, like husband and wife wallets and different things. Is it better to consolidate those, or how are you thinking?
That's a good question. So let us answer. We'll get back to you on that one tomorrow. As to, I mean, maybe what we do is we can do kind of our rough verification. I do think we know a little bit more than you think we know, too. So, so maybe we'll verify with people what their number is prior to prior to Friday, and we can have the confirmation, if that's correct or not. But let me get with the back office to do that. I know we're moving a lot of this stuff is becoming a lot more automated. That's part of what we've done here too. So there's a lot of we've got a lot of cool functionality. So we'll get back to you on that one.
Is there a fee to transfer tokens wallet to wallet? Hang on a second. Got some of these questions coming in communities.
Inside our exchange, you should be able to go wallet to wallet with no peer-to-peer inside the exchange. Shouldn't be a fee.
All right. Yeah, that was for you. So yeah. All right. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay. Don't think to count on the person. I bought some packages for friends and just had the token sent to them directly. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if it's in somebody else's wallet and somebody else's name, then I don't think it's likely.
No, yeah, right, exactly. It's going to go by the owner. Yeah, that would be the wallet owner.
Yeah.
So, but we'll explain more about it. So there'll be a more comprehensive blog coming out, explaining the whole process, and you'll see a whole lot more on the metaverse build out and so forth as we have new promoters and stuff that are engaged beginning tomorrow, and so forth. So, so all this stuff will be being explained, and it'll be out there, as we move forward here.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
that good for you?
Well, of course, it's going to happen as soon as we end here. It's going to be the 11:59 deadline. The other deadline that's pressing that I think is today or tomorrow, right, is that everybody who has had a paid membership for the last few months has got to go on to sign in into Mad Hatter VIP, and then the next 90 days is free as we port over. So if anybody hasn't done that yet, please do it tonight at madhattersociety.com. And then the next 90 days of the membership are free as we port over to the new AWB method.
Yeah, and then also another thing to bear in mind too, as we're building this thing out. Well, actually, why don't we get into it tomorrow? We have the whole AMA tomorrow too, so I don't want to open up a whole can of worms here tonight. But we'll explain a whole lot more about the metaverse stuff and about the new the new build out here tomorrow as well.
All right, perfect. Yeah, perfect. All right, everybody. Well, tomorrow night, 7:30, we'll jump back on and get through any Q&A, any glitches, anybody who had, anything come up. Hopefully that's nobody. And then onward and upward, some of the things we talked about on Friday that I think are going to drive a lot of value, some of the giveaways, some of the plans, some of the marketing initiatives, etc. And
yeah, well, you like all those cheesy little sayings. So, like, I mean, this week is kind of like swap and burn, right? This is swap and burn week.
I think slash and burn would be the proper,
slash. I like that, but that's kind of got a negative, connotation for forests.
That's true.
So,
well, that's true. But if we put slash the rocker on there, slash and burn would be okay.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, you can play with that concept. The good thing to know is that there's going to be less total tokens out there. A lot of the kind of the a lot of the bad mojo has already been spent. Kind of like we had some people who were waiting to hit bids. For example, in the first go around, we got a lot of insight. As far as what the selling pressure is and where people were willing to go with cost basis. So from a trading perspective, it was invaluable. So we're
well, that was especially interesting to watch, especially since we have an entire Discord channel for AWC Sell My Tokens. You would have thought that would have tried to flesh itself out.
Well, why that
drive price down to sell is
there's an interesting reason. We know exactly why it happened. It's just bad blood, but there's no reason for bad blood, because it just, I mean, there is no reason. I mean, we're part of the same, we're all part of the same, community in DeFi, trying to row forward. And our enemies aren't other tokens. Our enemies are centralized regulatory bodies and old central banks that are trying to an out for yes. The answer is yes. Yeah, the trillion. We're going to do that trillion contest / giveaway.
Yeah, and we will come out the rules on that, so it's a little bit more specific. But yeah,
you'll have that tomorrow.
You'll be pushing it out.
Yeah, you'll have that tomorrow, and it's going to be exciting, and we'll do more stuff like that too. And even so, and we'll be in touch with everybody who was buying in the open market and stuff, all the people who supported us. We'll give you some opportunity to choose what asset it is that you want to be compensated in. And we can make we can talk about making Satama one of those assets if you want that too. So I mean, it's up. We'll talk about that. We'll be in touch with you individually.
All right, perfect. Well, I'd say that's a pretty good time to let people noodle on that. Watch the rest of the games that are on, I guess, and we'll catch up tomorrow at 7:30 on this Discord. Oh, also, guys, for tomorrow, and as you have questions, please put them into the question, the AMA questions, as opposed to the community. It just is a little bit easier to track one place versus bouncing back and forth between 3 or 4 of these channels. So just to help us out a little.
I think we have that. I think we have that Carl bot or whatever it is working now.
Craig bot is on.
Yeah.
We'll see if Craig bot is working. I think Craig might belong to a union or something where he only works when the rest of the Craigs are also working. So we'll see.
All right, let me know.
All right.
Good one, everybody.
Yeah. Good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
All information presented on this AMA, technical or otherwise, is subject to change with or without notice at any time. The information is meant to outline general plans and answer questions being asked in real time. As such, the information should not be relied on as the basis for token purchases.